Hi, I'm Mike from 1A Auto. We've been selling auto parts for over 30 years.
So we'll open up the door, and here we have the door panel. So we are going to start at the door handle right here with a small flat tip screwdriver. We're gonna pop this little secret panel out. You'll pop it from the top down, and then there's a Phillips head screw right behind it. So we're gonna go ahead and remove that. Now with that same flat tip screwdriver, you can kind of poke in here and pull out. And you want to pull from this side because right here hooks on to the back. So we'll pull that out. Now around the door are these 5 plastic, they look like T20 Torx screws, but they're actually made out of plastic. And to get them out, you have to kind of be very gentle because they are plastic and usually the whole thing turns. But once you get them loose, then we'll have to pull this out as well once we get to that point. Now we need to pop out these little plastic retainers. And we're gonna do that with a trim tool, which you can actually buy at 1aauto.com. I'll have to get it in behind there first though. There we go. You can see once you've pried on it, it pops right out. They often fall on the ground as you're trying to do this. There we go. And there's the second one. Up at the top, we have this trim piece, and this thing just pops off with 3 little push pins. We have to take out the window switch next, which you can use the trim panel tool to remove. And then we'll want to unplug it by pushing down on this tab and then sliding the connector out. So now we're gonna pull the door handle or door panel up, and it should come right off. Here's our door speaker, and we're gonna use a 5mm socket and a ratchet to remove these 4 bolts that are holding it to the door. All right, there's the speaker. And now we can push down on this connector and remove it from the speaker. All right, so now we want to get the window regulator in a certain position. So we have to plug in the window switch. And then right down here, you'll see, this is where the glass connects to the window regulator. And if we move it up a little bit, you can see that there's a couple of tabs in here that you have to push down on to separate it from the regulator. Now over here on the other side, there's another little access panel, and you could disconnect the glass from this side through this panel, but it would be kind of a difficult process. Right at about this level in the door is where you want the bottom of the glass to be. And if you cut out this little access panel here, you'll be able to disconnect the glass from the regulator right here and right here at the same time. Where if you were going up through this panel, you'd have to disconnect it on the bottom and then roll the window up and disconnect it on this side. And that presents some dangers because you may end up breaking some clips on the window, which you don't want to do. So we're going to knock this panel out. All right, now we can see the clips that we need to disconnect right in there. All right, while holding the glass with one hand or having a friend hold it, you're going to want to come in here and push on these little tabs on the glass. And that will allow the glass to be raised up. So this side is now disconnected. Now we have to do the same for the other side. All you have to do is push the little tabs in. Right. There we go. Okay, once you've pushed the tabs in, you can pull the glass up. And what I like to do is I'll grab some tape. And I'll tape the glass to the door. All right, now we're going to disconnect this window switch that we temporarily put in place. So now the power window switch wire needs to get out of the way. So we're gonna just start unclipping it. Then we'll do the window motor and the speaker. We'll use the trim tool to remove that clip. Okay. Around this inner plastic door panel, there's 11 10mm bolts that we're going to need to remove. All right, we're going to remove this access panel like so. And the door handle has a rod that comes down on the bottom, and it has a pink little clip that we need to remove. The clip is just like the one on this interior door handle, where you just kind of pop it off and then you can pull the lever out of it. I'll put this one right back in so you can see how it works. All right, now we're gonna remove these 3 latch bolts with this T30 socket and a ratchet. All right, now we're just gonna pull this inner door panel off, and we should be able to slide it out just like this. All right, so now we're going to disconnect this wire from the door lock actuator, which is a little tricky to get at. There we go. And we're going to need our trim tool to pop it out of this plastic. There we go. Oops. We'll slide it out of there. We'll feed this connector right through. And then we'll get the rubber grommet through the door, or the plastic panel. All right. And now it's completely separate from the vehicle. All right, so now we're going to disconnect this little clip here and pull the lever out. And on this side, we're going to do the same. I'm going to push down on the green tab. Pull that off. So now you'll see this bracket, the whole thing slides into this plastic door panel. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pry away from these 2 tabs and get it to release. Well, that's the idea at least. We may need 2 screwdrivers. There we go. All right, and now it's completely separate. You'll see that this window regulator is actually built into the plastic inner door panel. So this regulator isn't removable. It's all one piece. If you were to remove it, you'd end up having to break this thing off, and it may cause other issues because you wouldn't be able to get it back on. So this is all one piece, and that's how you replace it. All right, now we're going to slide this right back in. Like so. And we'll slide that into the clip and snap the clip into place. Over on this side, we're going to do the same thing. We will put the rod into the clip, and then all we have to do is push the clip up, like that. We're going to feed the door lock actuator wiring through here and under the window regulator. Pull the rubber grommet through. Like that. We'll snap that one into place and snap this one into place. And then this goes under here. This one goes behind and push that through this hole. And then up here, we just have to clip it into the door lock actuator. Okay, so now we're going to slide the door panel back inside the door. We're going to do this latch side first. All right, we're gonna put these 3 bolts in the door latch. Behind the latch is this rod that we need to clip into the pink clip. So I'm gonna snap it in just like that. And then I can close up this little access panel. We're gonna clip the wiring back into place onto the power window motor, under this clip and under that clip, and then down here for the speaker. This one actually needs to go under. Like so. All right, now the wiring harness is back in place. So now we're going to drop the glass back inside the door very gently so that we don't break anything. So I'm going to start removing the tape. So now we're going to slowly drop the glass back into the door until it comes down here and lines up with these clips. Like that. All right, now we're going to test the window regulator by putting the window switch back on the door and telling the window to go up and down. Now we're ready to reinstall this speaker. So I'm going to plug it in just like this. And then rest the speaker on this inner door panel, where I will insert these 4 screws. And now we'll use the 5mm socket to install these 4 screws. Okay. Now we can start reinstalling these 10mm bolts that go around the door panel, or inner door panel, I guess you'd call it. We're going to put the door panel on. We're going to start with the window switch, feeding it up through here. And the door lock up on this corner. It's a little tricky to find. More tricky than expected. There it is. And we'll plug the window switch in. Now we're going to slide the door handle bezel over the door handle. Doing the back first. Snapping it into place. And then we have the Phillips head screw that goes in the center. And after the screw, we have this little cap that covers the screw. All right, now we're gonna put these little push pins in all the holes, and we'll follow those up with the screws. All right, and now you'll see the bottom of this trim panel has these two little pins that line up with the door panel. So you want to make sure you line those up, and it just snaps right in.
Thanks for watching. Visit us at oneauto.com for quality auto parts, fast and free shipping, and the best customer service in the industry.